Hello guys, welcome to Bhavna's Online Academy. As you would have understood from the title of the video itself, and also that the results were announced yesterday of all the CA exams, and as much as success stories were shared with me on Telegram, there were a fairly higher amount of failure stories which were shared because that is, yes, based on the percentage of passing also, right? Yes. So in this video, this is more like a guidance video to everyone. So I received around like 200 to 300 messages yesterday of people sharing their failures and asking me a lot of questions on how to go about for the November 23 exam, what they can do different this time. So they hop onto the right strategy. So this video will be all about guidance and purely how you can plan, what you can do different, how you can increase your marks. So all those tips and tricks that I have known and understood from all these years, that's what I'm going to share in this video. So hope you watch till the end and get the maximum benefit out of this. Yes. So let's start. So first let's start so in this video I've broken down this video into 5 points. The first point starts with coverage of concepts. So here what many students do is that whenever they study for an exam, so they usually bifurcate their suppose you take a subject, suppose you take costing, so they bifurcate the subject of costing into hard topic and easy topic. So what they do, whatever topics are easy, they cover it in full, they do all the questions, they do all the concepts, and whichever topics they find hard, in that they do selective study. So this is where the first problem arises, that in examination, it's not that whatever topic you're going to feel is easy is going to pop up in the exam. Even the topics which are hard, which you're not able to understand, are also going to come in the exam. And only if you understand these topics and do these topics also well, that's when your marks will increase in the exams, or else you'll always stay below 40 only. Correct? Yes. So, keeping that in mind, it is very, very important that in this attempt you do 100% coverage. I want you all to do 100% coverage. That so in the first reading, so I'm going to tell you how many revisions you have to do and all of that. But let me first tell you, in the first reading, what you have to do when you're going through all the subjects. I want you to cover 100% concepts plus 100% questions. Whatever question bank you're choosing, in that question bank, all the questions and all the concepts you have to and must cover. And wherever you're facing difficulty, you can definitely refer to YouTube videos. There are tons of videos on every topic of CA Inter or CA Final or CA Foundation, whatever exam level you are writing. Or in case if YouTube is not helping you, then either you can comment on any of the discussion groups, other students will help you. If this is also not helping you, then you can go ask your friends who have written the exam, who have passed the exam. If you genuinely want to clear your concepts, you will find out a way to clear them. You wouldn't make excuses. If you want, so if there is a new movie released of your favorite actor, and if you want to get a black ticket, okay, a ticket in black, you're not supposed getting the ticket, and the tickets are house full, and if you have to get a black ticket, do you know who is selling it right now? No, but you somehow find a way to get that ticket, right? That's how much love and passion you have for something is proven there. So the same way, if you want to clear your concepts, you will definitely find someone who can clear it for you. Okay, do that. Make your 100% concepts clear. If concepts are automatically clear, you will not find difficulty in understanding solving the question bank. So that will help you in that. So this is the first this thing. So 100% coverage of concepts is very important. If suppose you feel that here and there alone I'm not getting doubts, but I am getting doubts in a lot of major areas, then in such case what I would suggest you is that please go for fast track classes or crash courses. Please do your fast track classes and crash courses, and this will help you in clearing your concepts. Because if there are a lot of doubts, you cannot stick to the first method I told you, because that's going to take a lot of time. Then you must be thinking, no, just 4 months are left, how do I do these classes, how is this possible, I have so many subjects, so many things to study, so many things to revise. But if you don't do this anyway, you're not gonna pass. Then what's the point of spending time on multiple revision when your basic concepts are itself not clear? It's okay, you can spend the first 2 months of this 4 months, first 2 months, that means today is 6 July, so July and August, both 2 months, you can spend on this first reading and making all your concepts clear and doing your 100% of your question bank of all subjects. Okay. Yes. So these 2 months, so now it's the time if you have to rethink. That means you have to put in double the efforts. You have to study those extra hours, but you have to do this if you want to go for November 23. If you feel a subject is very difficult and you still have not got hold of it and there is no YouTube video which is helping you, please go for classes. Don't think twice. Go for classes, or else you'll have to sit another 6 months. And now even new courses coming, so there will be a lot of confusion in the transition and etc. So it's better you try to clear your attempt, in the upcoming attempt itself. Yes. So I've spoken about classes, and then speaking of coming to the second topic, which is speaking of your questions practice. So this is an area which I feel major students lack. Okay, so once you've got 100% concept clarity, you need a question bank from which you can go and practice questions. Let it be a theory subject or let it be a practical subject. Students, what do they think? Practicals, for practical subjects, question bank is enough. For theory subjects, we don't need question banks. We'll read the provision, we'll understand the provision, we'll write it in the exam. In your exams, when they're going to ask you case studies, how are you going to answer it? How do you know what kind of questions are being framed in the exam? Only and only when you look through your past year papers, you'll get an understanding of how theory exams are also asked, how practical questions are also asked. So as much as how practical question practice is important, theory questions practice are also important. Okay. So for practical, every sum, at least, if there are like suppose 50 sums in a chapter, at least 20 to 25 you have to do return practice. I don't say that you make a format and everything, but don't go and jump into the answer and audit the answer. Study the question, whatever is written. Try to answer the question by your own, either using a return practice. I mean, you can do it with calculator also, you can do it with your mind also. You need not take the pen and write, but come to an answer by yourself and then check whether that is the answer in the solution. Don't directly jump to the solution. At least for 20-25 questions you have to do that. You cannot just audit everything. Yes, the author has written the solution correctly. Yes, ICA has written the solution correct. Very good. ICA does not have to pass the exam. You have to pass the exam, correct? So you have to do this practice. This is for practical subject. For theory subjects, how do you cover your question banks? So in theory, what happens is that you have to go through. Sometimes there might be direct questions, or sometimes there might also be indirect questions. Okay, just a second, I'll just clear the screen. Yes. Okay. So what will happen is, in theory subjects you might both have direct as well as indirect questions. You might have both. So here what you have to do, if suppose there are 50 questions for a set chapter, then whatever direct questions are given, suppose they are directly asking you benefits, suppose they are asking you a meaning of something, these question and all, you what you can do is, you need not sit down and study these answers. What you do for such questions, you directly take your book, whatever you're referring to, let it be a concept book or let it be a summary book. You take question number one is related to, suppose, the meaning of a company, okay, for example. Then you can go to your concept book or summary book, wherever that meaning of company is given, there just on the left hand side mark question one. Okay, so that you need not refer this. When you're studying this itself, this will get covered. Okay, but where there are question where they have asked something like a case law type, or they have framed a situation and asking you question on how you have to go about there, or if there is any question which you're feeling difficult, and then for that alone you can read the answer thoroughly. And if there is any extra point which you find which is not there in your concept note or summary note, make a sticky note of it and stick it in the concept note or summary book, and there you can write that concept which is not available. Okay, so this is very very important. So in this video, actually I don't have a set pattern, or I haven't wrote down points that I want to tell you. So whatever is coming to my mind on how you can effectively study, I'm going to tell all of that in this video, because I don't mind even if this video is long. For people who want to see the video till the end and get benefit out of it, this will be one of the most effective video which you can watch, which can help you genuinely increase your marks. Okay. Yes. So let me summarize what I told into now. First is 100% conceptual clarity. If you're getting it via YouTube, well and good. If you're getting it from your friends, well and good. If you're not finding any other source, take classes. Let it be a fast track course or a crash course. Find a class, get a class, finish your class, and understand your concepts. Once your 100% concept clarity is done, the second thing that you have to remember is, you have to do 100% of your question bank in your first reading. In maybe in your second and third revision you can lessen the number of questions, but in your first reading you have to do every single question which is there in the question bank. Now for this, what you have to do for practical, I told you how you have to do your question bank. For theory also, how you have to do that question bank, I've told you. In practical subject, if there is any adjustment that you're finding which is different and which you don't have in your summary notes, so any subject you pick up you need to have been you should be preparing your summary notes. For theory you will have summary notes available in the market itself. For practical also you might have summary notes given by your your faculty or your institute, but if that's not available, you need to make a summary note of your own, at least for practical subject. For theory, you'll definitely find it in the market. But if not, then you have to get it. Okay. So you have to make a summary notes of your own. Okay. And in that some whatever summary notes you're referring, if it's a practical question and if there is a new adjustment you're finding which is not covered or the treatment is not covered in your summary notes, take a sticky note, put it on the summary note, write the question and write what was the treatment. If it is a theory question, it's a case law and the case law has been interpreted in a different way which is not as per what is given in your summary notes. Take that case law, stick a sticky note, write that case law, write that answer. This summary note should become your Bible. This summary note should become your Bible. At the end, suppose you're taking up a subject and studying for 10 days. At the end of 10 days, how much ever knowledge you have gained, should everything should be in this summary note. Let it be the questions, let it be the extra knowledge, let it be the interpretations, let it be the understanding. Whatever you have got, everything should be there in that one book or one notebook, whatever you're taking as your summary notes. Okay, so few people where I was saying about summary notes, if you feel you cannot make your own summary notes or the summary notes which you have got from your institute is not good, order a new summary note. Don't think twice. Find what is the best summary notebook in the market, order that for your practical, order that for your theory. The money that you're going to be spending now on these classes, on these summary notes, everything is an investment. Okay, either you invest another 6 months failing and passing the next exam, or either you invest your money now to pass this exam. It's a choice. What did I say? Either you invest another 6 months, fail this exam, invest another 6 months, or invest your money and pass this attempt. This option is a much, much better option to choose. Yes, the same way for question banks also. Your question bank should be an updated question bank. It should be updated for at least May 23 or November 23. When I say it should be an updated question bank, that means that all the past year papers, RTPs and MTPs until at least November 23, sorry, November 22 or May 23 should be inculcated in this question bank. Okay, if it's not, then buy a new question bank. If it's not, buy a new question bank. What I'm saying, if there is a faculty you referred from earlier for a question bank, and this attempt what has happened, that faculty same question bank has been updated, then it's okay, get his new question bank, his or her new question bank, and practice from that. Okay, please get updated books and updated question banks. If it is not updated for November 23, it's fine, but at least for May 23 it should be updated. Okay, so what was the second point we covered? We covered three things: updated note, updated question bank, and then the third point was what? The third point was that you need to make your summary note a one-stop solution for everything. Any new question that pops up, you should definitely know that if I refer my summary book, that question should get solved. Okay, so these are the two things. The third thing is about writing mock tests. So how many of you gave your mock test? So, how many of you did you give your mock test or mock practices for your exams? I don't think many would have done this. So, until and unless you don't test yourself, how do you know how is your writing style? How is your how good is your speed? How good is your writing style? Or how much time does it take for you to understand the question? What are the mistakes you're doing while reading a question? So, there is plenty of things that you will understand when you give a mock test. At least one mock test you have to compulsorily give. So what you can do, either after your first reading or after your first revision, you can give your mock test. At least one mock test you have to give for every single paper. It is a must. Only then you will understand where you're going wrong, and that you can improve in your next revision, or else you'll just go on reading and reading. What's the point? You need to know what, where, at which level you are standing right now. So for that, mock tests are really important. At least one mock test you have to give. Next is how much number of revisions you have to do. So what would be recommended and suggested is that you have 4 months. So first 2 months do your first reading. So first reading means getting a conceptual understanding of everything and solving all the questions which is there. And then after that, at least two revisions after that you have to do. Okay, so this would be the suggested plan. So in the until the month of August, do your first reading. Then September month, do your first revision. October month, do your second revision. This is the number of revisions you should plan. At least two revisions you have to do. Okay. Yes. And coming up to the final point, which is about your distractions. So now, what about distractions? So, a lot of people came up to me and told me, I'm not able to study this much hours in a day because as a C exam, as a professional competitive exam, it is going to check your competitiveness. It is going to check how strong minded you are, how how much willpower you have got to keep away your distractions. So this is very very important. This is one of the most important aspects, as today we are living in the age of technology. Even if you uninstall all your social apps, you are going to be still available on Telegram and on YouTube. So on YouTube, what happens? We start seeing a video. We want to take like a 5 minute break, so we start seeing shorts in between, and then we have no clue where our time goes. The same with Telegram. You open to find some note, or you open to find some, you ask some doubt or something, and then there are thousands of Telegram channels you're following. So somewhere reading what they have posted, what they have done, you are getting distracted in that. Okay. So the number one thing that you have to remember is YouTube channel. When you're opening, try to see it from your mom's account or dad's account or whatever account which is used very less, so that the suggestive content you're getting of what you would like would be really really low. Okay, so that you're not getting distracted easily, because you cannot shut down YouTube. You can shut all other apps, but YouTube and Telegram is like your study area. There you cannot shut everything. On Telegram group, only follow those groups where they are providing you useful resources or useful tips, whatever can help you increase your marks in the exam. If there is any other Telegram channel, even if you find that my Telegram channel there, that isn't that much helpful for you, then it's okay, leave my Telegram channel. I have created the channel only for your benefit. If you're feeling the benefit is lesser than the time you're getting distracted there, then leave that Telegram channel. Leave all those Telegram channel where they're just posting random things or buying classes and all of that. Don't follow them. Only follow those Telegram channel which is genuinely posting stuff related to your exam. Yes. Okay, so I hope you understood this about your YouTube and Telegram. So this was all about your distractions. And one more important point was, you already just have 4 months left. Okay, you don't have a good amount or a very good amount of time left that you can chill, have leisure, and do all of it. So these 4 months, this might be harsh, this might not be acceptable, but at least, if not for 4 months, for the next 2 months until you complete your first reading, promise to yourself that you're not going anywhere out, you're not meeting your friends, you're not meeting your neighbors or whoever is there whom you can get easily distracted. Sit in your room, finish this first reading at least for the next 2 months, and by October and September you would already know that this is not enough and you wouldn't dare to even go out. These 2 months where there is July and August, you would feel we have time, and you would do all the leisure things. But by the time October and September comes, you would automatically cut them out. So I'm not even considering these 2 months. For the next 2 months until your first reading, please cut out on everything that can distract you, because the time is very very less. Trust me, the time is really really less. If you don't put your 100% today, if you don't put your 100% for every day from today, it is very difficult to clear this attempt. Nobody will tell you this, but this is the harsh truth. You have to do this. Then the next question I got asked was, how many hours do we have to study? How many hours do we have to study? So how many hours do you have to study? You might study for 16 hours, but the effective output you're taking out is only 8 hours or 10 hours. Okay, you might be studying for just 8 hours and you can take out effective output of 8 hours. So it isn't about more about how many hours you're putting to study, it's more about how many effective hours you're getting out of it. Okay, if you feel when you study you get easily distracted, put in more number of hours, so at least a minimum effective hours are getting out of it. So minimum 8 to 10 hours of study every day is required. You should not ask me how many hours to study. This I've told in my earlier video also. Ask how much time you can take as a break. Morning, eat your breakfast, take a bath. in the afternoon eat your lunch, in the night eat your dinner, and maybe 1 hour a day you can watch TV or do a sport or whatever you're interested in. All the rest of the time you should be on your study table studying. Okay, this is important. You have to do this to clear your exams. And one more common question I got asked was, I've gone through many attempts, many attempts have passed by, but I'm still failing. Should I write this attempt or not? Now, even after doing all of this, you've failed all these attempts, then it's a question that you should make for yourself. But if you feel in this five things that I've told you, even if one got missed, give this attempt a last chance. Give November 23 a last chance and try to write this exam in this attempt. Yes, because I am definitely sure if you're going to do all of this, then this is like a fail proof plan. You cannot fail using this after doing all of this. But if you're doing, then there is something else where you're lacking in. But 99% I can assure you that if you're going to follow this, there's no way you will be able to fail in the upcoming attempt. Okay, so let me give you an understanding on how you have to plan your 4 months. So starting from today, so you have July, you have August. Okay. So you have July and you have August. So July you have 31 days, August you have 31 days. So totally 62 days in hand. You have to do 8 subjects. That means around you can give 8 days per subject, and wherever whichever subject you're feeling that you can do in lesser number of days, you can do that. Suppose if you feel that one subject I cannot finish in 8 days, then do two subjects together. So 8 days, 8 days, that means 16 days you have to complete 2 subjects. So morning half day read one subject, and evening half day read one subject. But this is the time you have. You don't have more time than this. Okay. Yes, I hope you understand this. Fine, you don't have more time, so this 8 days, even if you give 10 hours of effective study, 80 hours of study for a subject is more than enough. Yes, if you want, you can also stretch it for in the month of September. Okay, but right now don't have the mindset that you want to stretch it. Right now try to give your best, and at least if not 8 subjects, try to finish 7 subjects within your August. Okay, so after this is done, try to give your mock test also, cover your recent RTP, MTPs, and your past year papers also. And how to cover this? Don't go searching for compilations given on your Telegram channel. Please don't. I wouldn't suggest that. Get a question bank which has compiled everything already. You will find this in the market. Yes, ask friends who have passed. What did they practice? Where were the sums coming from? And all of that, and you can take help from that. Okay, the last 2 months you have to do one revision. As I've told you, one mock test is compulsory. Yes, so I hope I was able to guide you through where you could have gone wrong, and where you should take classes, where you should get your question banks, where you should get your summary notes, and what kind of summary notes should you prepare. Yes, and how mock tests you have to take. Mock tests also, people have a question, where do we get this mock test? So you have websites which provide you mock tests. You can get it from there, or even I think ICI conducts mock tests. So that also you can take help of, but one mock test is compulsory. Fine. Yes. I guess I've answered all the questions. Let me just recheck if there is anything that I've missed. Um, as much as I remember, I think I've told you everything. Yes, and one last thing is that I wanted to speak of was daily targets. Daily targets. Yes. So here what happens if you are planning that you have to do a subject for 8 days, suppose. Yes. So the number one important thing is, if you just start doing your subject, you cannot finish it. If you just start doing this, you will not be able to finish it. Yes. So one, you have to make a plan for those 8 days. Make a plan for those how days. How do you plan? How do you plan? If suppose it is a practical subject, see how many questions are there in every chapter. According to that, split it in 8 days. If this is a theory chapter, also see how many questions are there in a particular chapter, split it into 8 days. So you know, at least to complete, suppose in 8 days, it is so come that every day you have to solve suppose 50 questions. Suppose you have to solve suppose 50 questions. Okay, if this is the case, then see how many chapters you have to complete to solve this 50 questions. See how many chapters you have to complete to solve this 50 questions. That's how it works. You don't see how many chapters you have to complete and how many questions are going to come. No, you see how many questions are there. See, for completing those questions, how many chapters you have to complete, and complete those chapters. So even if you do for 80 days, no, So 50 questions into 8 days, around 400 questions you're covering, which is very, very good. Which is actually very, very good. Don't try to mug up any question. Please try and understand and solve the question only. Then it is going to help. This question practice would be waste if you are trying to mug up here. One and there, one or two answers out of this 400 is fine. Otherwise, you need to understand and only do. Once your 8 day once your plan for 8 days is done, the next thing that you have to do is plan for every day, plan for each day. So how do you plan for each day? Suppose I have to complete chapter 1, 2 and 3 today, and all the question practice I have to do related to this. So what you have to do is, the previous night before you go to sleep, no, the previous night before you go to sleep, make a plan that chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. If you're going to refer to a YouTube video tomorrow, you should exactly know which YouTube video you are referring to. Okay, right? How many number of hours that YouTube video is. Okay, that you have to write here. After you have done that, write how many questions are there in each chapter. Okay, and then how much time you have allocated to each chapter, and from what time to what time. Timings, from what time to what time are you going to study this chapter? Are you going to study this chapter? A detailed plan of the next day should be available to you, so that you, when you're missing your timings, you exactly know that you're lagging behind you and you have to push yourself. Yes, and this all is important, like what resources are you going to use, what is the question bank, everything should be prepared. The next day when you sit to study, there should be no confusions. So this is also very, very important. This was all about your daily targets. And yes, guys, so I hope I was able to answer all the questions that were asked to me. If there is still any questions left, you can put that down in the comment section below. If I feel that still major questions are still unanswered, then I'll try to make a second video and answer all those questions. If not, I hope this video helped you. And so yes, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to like, share and also subscribe. And share it with the other CA friends who are going to write their November exams, because I feel this might be truly helpful. Yes, and also you can join my Telegram channel. The link of it is given in the description box below. I post there about what is the next video that's going to be upcoming and how you can improve your studies, so the little tips and everything. Yes, guys, so thank you so much. I'll try to link other videos which can be helpful in your preparation, either in the I button here or in the description box. Do check them out too. Yes, thank you so much.